Everybody, this is Kelly of Roho Chief Clothing, and this is my Instagram, as you see here. And when you look here, I'm going to click on the link. It will say creator Kelly _ McAlpine. That's to my personal Instagram account. But right here it says follow link to my YouTube, Facebook, and clothing below. So I'm going to click on this link right here. And when you click on that link, then what's going to happen is that kids sports tee, as you see, babies clothing. This is a shirt for a toddler. I even have bodysuits for babies. And then going back, I have the category for also women. Tank tops. I also have polo shirts. I also have long sleeve shirts, as well as hoodies for women as well, and also for men. They have the same thing. Men tank tops, men t-shirts, got v-neck shirts, comes in a variety of colors, sizes. So, check me out if you would like to have some fashion that honors your ancestors and shows the world that you know exactly who you are and proud of it. Now, let's get into the video. And as you will see, guys, that this lady name is Gwendolyn. She's on Instagram. She's an actress. She's following my page, Roho Chief, and this is what it says on her profile: Gwendolyn Entrepreneur, and she's an Amazon in the movie Wonder Woman 1984, and she was on The Price is Right for 12 years, and she has an IG on her IGTV. She does interviews on her Instagram. Okay, so she plays as one of the Amazon women. She has a role in the new Amazon movie, and she talks about and she shows her children and stuff like that. And she had like two flags that were on here, one from representing Jamaica, another one representing Britain. So I'm guessing that she probably was maybe raised in Britain and that she might be of Jamaican descent. And we know that the Jamaicans are American Indians of Arawak descent. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit about her as well. Okay, so it says on Pure Wow, it says, who is Gwendolyn Osborne? 6 things you probably didn't know about the Wonder Woman 1984 star. The premiere of Wonder Woman 1984 is just a few months away, while the sequel will include several returning cast members like Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. It will also feature some newcomers like Gwendolyn Osborne. We recently sat down with the 41-year-old actress to get the scoop about her career, along with her secretive role in Wonder Woman 1984. Keep scrolling for some fun and interesting facts that you probably didn't know about Gwendolyn Osborne. Who is Gwendolyn Osborne? She's an actress and model who's making a name for herself in 2020. Osborne got her start in the industry as a model and even appeared on The Price is Right. She eventually ventured into acting, where she landed roles in Ocean Ave, Charm, The Bold and the Beautiful, and Beauty and the Baller. The actress will also appear in the highly anticipated sequel, Wonder Woman 1984, which hits theaters on June 5th. Who does she play in Wonder Woman 1984? Unfortunately, Gwendolyn can't tell us much about her role since it's still under wraps, but she did reveal that she plays a badass Amazon character. I am not allowed to say too much, but I am a highly featured Amazon, she told Pure Wow. I'm extremely athletic, I'm a badass, and I'm fearless. Sounds like our kind of gal. It says, how did she land such a highly coveted role? The actress confirmed that she was personally tapped by the director, Patty Jenkins, who she met at a mutual friend's funeral. I actually was tapped on the shoulder by a director, Patty Jenkins, to be in it, Osborne told Pure Wow. She asked me to be one of her Amazons. How did she prepare for the movie? Osborne underwent intense training to prepare for the movie. At one point, she bruised her ankle bone and started completing workouts in a boot. I worked through it. I had the boot on my foot and I would go to the gym and still do all my workouts, she told Pure Wow. Then I was cleared right before I went to England to do a 6-week training camp at Warner Brothers to get into my Amazon shape. Now, I'm going to stop it right there. Now, as you see that, that she's mixed, that they say that her mother is of Jamaican descent and her dad is British, so I'm assuming that her father is a European, Caucasian European male from England. So obviously, she's a mixed woman. But I believe it definitely was not a mistake at all that the director would have chose her, knowing the fact that her bloodline is an American Indian bloodline. Okay. And more than likely, that she is, or she would represent, a true depiction of an Amazon woman. Even though, she's fair skinned, and we know that American Indian people, we come in all different shades and have all different type of hair textures as well. Now let's take a look at one of the people that created the comic book Wonder Woman. Now the man's name is William Moulton Marston, and it says that he was born May 9th, 1893, and he died May 2nd, 1947. He also is known by his pen name Charles Moulton, and was an American psychologist. Now let's stop there. We know that psychologists, that they understand perception, they understand the use of imagery and the power of imagery in order to convey a message in your subconscious mind, in your conscious mind, right? So to me, we know that for a very long time, Europeans are guilty of trying to write our people out of history and try to rewrite history in what we call the Reconstruction period, the Reconstruction era of time in this country. And they're still doing that. They're still trying to get rid of our imagery and try to disconnect us from our culture and our mythology. But we're going to get into that. Okay, so we know that they try to, disconnect us from our culture, disconnect us and try to erase us from the dynamic altogether by trying to disassociate our image with our own mythology and our own history. So, in my opinion, I feel like that's what he was doing, because instead of him using the correct imagery of what Wonder Woman really would have been and who she really would have been like and how she would have really looked, which would have been a copper-colored aborigine, he used the imagery of a European lady instead of a copper-colored Indian woman, which the Amazon women in real life would have been and were, American Indian women. Okay, so anyways, it says he was an American psychologist, and his wife Elizabeth Holloway invented an early prototype of the lie detector and was also known as a self-help author and comic book writer who created the character Wonder Woman. Okay, so it says occupation: psychologist, inventor, writer. Okay, so it says he was inducted into the Comic Book Hall of Fame in 2006. It said that he had 2 women in his life. He had a polyamorous lifestyle. He said, which greatly influenced Wonder Woman's creation. So basically, what they're trying to say is that he tried to infuse his own lifestyle of having more than one partner, and that he put that into the comic book. Okay, so that's what it sounds like to me. But also, what they don't tell you is that how he basically he basically stole the idea and the concept of Wonder Woman being an Amazon. He basically took that straight from American Indian culture and history or mythology. Okay, and I'm about to show you, the reason why I say that. Now, from this website, they're talking about Queen Calafia, and it says the real Amazon, and technically that's how a real Amazon woman probably would have looked, because as we know, the American Indian women are copper colored, and this lady here is definitely a copper colored lady. And then you see her outfit, you see the feathers that she has on her head. Okay, and so let's see what they're saying about her. They say Queen Calafia is the name of a legacy, a myth, and the truth. She was a large and black as the ace of spades, but the prejudice of color did not exist even among the most brazen-faced or the most copper-headed, for as you shall learn, she was reputed the most beautiful of women, and it was she, O California, who accomplished great deeds. She was valiant and courageous and ardent, with a brave heart, and had ambitions to execute nobler actions than had been performed by any other ruler. Queen Calafia. Queen Calafia was a black virgin Amazon warrior associated with the mythical island of California. And then you see this imagery right here. It says the Amazon, spirited courage and great strength. They had beautiful, robust bodies, spirited courage, great strength. Their island was the most impregnable in the world, with its cliffs and headlands and rocky coasts. Their weapons were of gold, because in all of the island there were no metal except gold. And there ruled over the island of California a queen of majestic proportions, more beautiful than all others, and in the very vigor of her womanhood she was not petite, nor blonde, nor golden-headed. The legend of Queen Calafia appears to date back to the novel Las Grasas de Esplanadian, The Adventures of Esplanadian, written about 1500 by Spanish writer Garcia Rodriguez de Matavio. He described the island in this passage. Know that on the right hand of the Indies there is an island called California, very close to the side of the terrestrial paradise. It is peopled by black women, without any man among them, for they live in the manner of Amazons. Califia's life and land, as described by Garcia Rodriguez de Matavio. To some extent, this document helped to participate the Spanish hunt for gold in North America. In fact, some 30 years later, 1536, when the explorer Hernandez Cortez landed with his crew in what is known today as Baja, it is said that they announced to his men, of which 300 were of African descent, that they had arrived in Califia's land. Sands 1650 map of California until nearly the end of the 17th century up to the Reconstruction era. California was believed to be an island. So they're showing you America, an image of America right here. And it's Mexico. And then on the side, on the left side, is probably where California would be. And then there's another map. And this is a depiction of California as an island, or, okay, that's the imagery of what they had. And this is showing North America, California depicted as an island. Sanson gave lessons in geography to both kings and Louis the 13th and 14th. It says the room of the Dons. And so see in this depiction, you see Queen Calafia. She has feathers on her head. She has earrings in her ears. She has on a robe and she's holding gold. And then to her right is a woman, warrior woman. And then to her left is also another warrior woman. And they're both carrying shields. And then you see here's another image of Queen Calafia, but with braids. And it says here, this is by 1770, the entire Pacific coast controlled by Spain had been given the name California, that the Spanish-speaking people who lived there were called Californios. A portion of the original of this document was translated by Everett Hale for the Antiquarian Society, and the story was printed in the Atlantic Monthly magazine 1864. The best known depictions of Queen Calafia are murals done by well-known artists. One 7-foot high panel showing Calafia as a black woman with her Amazons in the room of the Dons at the Mark Hopkins International Hotel in San Francisco. And was created for the opening of the hotel in 1926 by Moran Dixon and Frank von Solon. Another famous depiction created by Louis Lloyd and entitled The Naming of California can be seen in Sacramento in the Senate Rules Committee hearing chamber on the 4th floor of the State Building. Could Queen Calafia's legend possibly bear seeds of truth regarding her identity? Thanks for looking at my video. Please like my video and please share my video with other people. And if you haven't already, please subscribe.